I am headed towards the Alabama hills, and yet I am getting on to the 15 freeway going south. And that doesn't sound like it makes sense, does it? That's because the way I usually take to go to the Alabama hills, which is the shortest way, takes you through Death Valley. But Death Valley, as of September 30th, is still closed to through traffic to the Eastern Sierra because of all of the flooding that happened like a month or 2 months ago.
The quickest route is 4 hours by way of California 190 through Death Valley. But again, because of record floods, 190 is still closed and under repair. The other two options are going the northern route through Westgard Pass. Beautiful, but it adds an hour and 15 minutes. The southern option is the heavily trafficked and very stressful I-15, which only adds a half hour.
So, I am taking the 15 to the Alabama hills. It's not too bad because I'm taking a different way that I'm not familiar with. So I'm taking the 15 and I'm going to cut over to the 395 in Barstow. So I'm kind of excited to drive the 395, the southern portion. The 395 starts in Victorville. I'm not going to go all the way south down there because I'd be adding a lot more time onto my drive if I did that. Perhaps in another video I'll do that. But I'm kind of curious to see parts of 395 that I don't usually drive. So even though this is adding about 30 to 40 minutes onto my drive, it's okay. It's an adventure. So we are at Primm, which is the border of Nevada and California. And my car has a voice and likes to talk to me. And it will tell me when I have crossed the state line.
Welcome to California.
Okay, we're at the California Agricultural Inspection Station. Let's see if they want to talk to us. Nope. Nobody wants to talk to us today. Baker, California. Home to the world's largest, tallest, one of those, thermometer. Is it working? My car says it's 94. The thermometer over there says it's 89. A little bit of, a couple of red lines past 89. Can't really read that thermometer. You know, it would have been cooler if it was like a mercury thermometer. The world's largest, like, legit thermometer. That's just, you know, digital. Although that would probably not be very safe, so. Anyway. Baker, everybody. And just outside of Baker, south of it, is the world's weirdest road name. Zizix. I know a lot of people make videos of this now defunct water park on YouTube, but I have absolutely no desire to go over there and make a video. None whatsoever. The Early Man Site. One of these days, I think I might have to check that out. I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing, you know, caveman? Now we're in Yermo, and this is where the agricultural station used to be. And it is so much better where it is right by Primm now, because when it was here travel, I'm sure doing YouTube videos about the park. It's kind of popular. So anyway, yeah, we are just outside of Barstow and about a little over 10 miles. I can get off at the 15. I'm looking forward to that. And onto 58, which will drive for just a little bit and hit the Eastern Sierra Nevada Highway, Highway 395. 58.
After exiting the 15 and getting onto California 58 west in Barstow, the landscape becomes quite desolate. There are no services on California 58 between the junction of Interstate 15 and the junction of 395, also known as Kramer Junction. The distance between those two junctions is about 30 miles, so if you're running low on gas, fill up in Barstow. There are gas stations at Kramer Junction as well.
Okay. The exit to 395 is coming up. Exit 206 off of what we're on right now, which is 58. So we're a little over a mile from getting onto the 395. Is not as picturesque as it is when you're up near the mountains.
This southern portion of 395 is a stark contrast to the parts of 395 I encounter when I merge with it from traveling through Death Valley. In fact, this part of 395 echoes parts of California 190 driving through Death Valley, which makes sense since this is also part of the Mojave Desert.
That is pretty cool prospecting equipment. Okay.
Thanks for visiting Nick's Adventrex. If you're a returning viewer but aren't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Like and share the video, and definitely comment with any questions below. I love to read and respond to comments. These little things help to grow the channel and inspire future adventures. As we're passing by Randsburg, California, on the horizon we start to see the beginnings of the Sierra Nevada come into view. On my long drives, I find the best way for me to enjoy the experience isn't to get to the destination as quick as possible. It's to enjoy the journey. I'm most comfortable taking it easy in the slow lane, as you can tell by the others passing me up. As they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey. Just past the exit to get to Ridgecrest, Lone Pine is about 70 miles away, where we'll make our way to the Alabama hills.
Fantastic, a divided road coming up. I'm not a fan of highways like this where if you need to pass somebody, you have to go into oncoming traffic, an oncoming traffic lane, that is to say. So I was wondering when this was going to split into a divided highway, and that will make me a lot less edgy. It's a beautiful road, but I just don't like these 2-lane highways. These hills that we're heading towards, these mountains, this must be the beginning of the Sierra Nevada on the south side. The south side. The southeast side. So this appears to be the 395 merging with the 14, also called the Aerospace Highway. I'm sure it's called the Aerospace Highway because of Edwards Air Force Base out there off of the 14. All right. Now I feel more comfortable. Yay. All right, 63 miles to Lone Pine / the Alabama Hills. Ha. Las Vegas traffic. Use alternate route. SR 190 closed. Flooding in Death Valley. Yeah. This is the alternate route. What's interesting about the rerouting to get on the other side of Death Valley from Las Vegas is that a couple weeks ago we had a friend visiting, and he looked at Google Maps, and Google Maps was routing him through Death Valley, and it was closed. It's not happening anymore. Google Maps has been updated, and it is now giving you alternate routes and telling you that you can't go through Death Valley. But at the time, our friend was planning on going through Death Valley because Google said it was open. And I suggested that he download the Caltrans app to double check to make sure that 190 was open or closed. And sure enough, on Caltrans, which is called Caltrans Quick Map app, 190 closed. So it's always a good idea to double check your route in multiple sources, not just Google, because sometimes Google is wrong, and that has happened to me a couple of times too. So, okay, that guy was going super fast. So, like, I try to always have the state's map app. California has an app, that's the Quick Map, and Nevada has an app as well that lets you know of road closures. So if I'm traveling through either of those two states, which I frequently am, I will always check those two apps to make sure that my route is open or if there are any closures, along with Google. And then, you could always use Apple Maps, but I think I trust Google Maps over Apple Maps. Although I'm sure, I know I'm rambling, but I'm sure Apple Maps has gotten better over the years. So, word to the wise. Interesting what's going on over there on the right side of the car. It's, is that a fault? It almost looks like a giant lava flow at first glance, but then you see that it looks like uplift. Like a fault line. Have to check that out on Google and research it. Now we are starting to climb up in elevation as we make our way towards Lone Pine.
This area we're traveling through is the Little Lake Fault Zone. There are numerous faults along the Eastern Sierra Corridor, as this whole area has a dense tectonic and volcanic history.
We're at 3,000 feet, and we are getting the official Welcome Eastern Sierra Scenic Byway sign. 3,000 feet, that's about the altitude that I reside at. Now it's starting to look familiar. Wow, water! That's going to Los Angeles, I'm sure. It's beautiful. just said Fossil Falls East Cinder Road, and I was just about to say that must be a cinder cone. So, I think so. And then we have all of this old lava rock, lava flows all over the place. I'm so fascinated by the Eastern Sierra. Oh, there's an old homestead over there. It's really cool. Wow, look at the color of this rock right here. Definitely volcanic.
We're passing through the town of Olancha. Here there's an RV park, a cafe, and a sculpture garden.
Wow, look at this statues over there.
Outside of Olancha puts our destination of Lone Pine and the Alabama Hills at just over 20 miles away.
Lemon House Inn. Oh my gosh. There's so many interesting things along the southern part of 395 that I didn't even know existed. So that, I believe, is Owens Lake. All dried up. Well, not completely dried up because you can see some water over there right now, but dried up in the 30s, I think, because of the rerouting of water to Los Angeles.
In 1913, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power completed their aqueduct to reroute 62 miles of the Owens River water from the Owens Valley to Los Angeles, drastically altering the landscape and ecosystems of the Eastern Sierra.
Enjoy and care for the Eastern Sierra. I enjoy it and I care for it. So I will. Okay, we are about 3.5 miles outside of Lone Pine, and you can see Mount Whitney right over there. Pretty cool. And off in the distance over there is the visitor center. It's the place you get the permits to if you're going to hike Mount Whitney.
Just before you enter Lone Pine and just past the Eastern Sierra Visitor Center, on the left of 395 is my favorite gas station to fill up at, a Chevron whose market is called Lee's Liquor and Deli. Not because it's cheap, no, not at all, but because they have a dog park and goat stalls right next to the park. It's a great place to stop to stretch your legs and let your dog get some fresh air.
On 395, which is the main drag, like Main Street for Lone Pine. And coming up right here on the left is the town's museum. It's a film museum because there have been hundreds, I think, of films filmed here at the Alabama Hills and around the Eastern Sierra Nevada. This is our turn to get to the Alabama Hills. to check the map over here to make sure that they haven't changed up where you can and can't camp. It's a good spot right here to just get your bearings as far as the places that are okay to camp and the places that are not okay to camp here in the Alabama Hills. Okay, yeah, these two bulletin boards have it.
The last time I was here in the Alabama Hills in early 2022, the majority of the east side of Movie Road was open to camping. Now, however, camping is only permitted in designated spots with camping signs, as you'll see in a few moments. These bulletin boards are a good resource if you're unable to find a spot, as they have information on other campgrounds in the Lone Pine area.
Okay, we are turning onto Movie Road. All right. Camp in sights with only this symbol. All right. Oh my God, I found a spot. I'm so excited. Yay! So Gandalf and I made it to the Alabama Hills, and we got a really, really nice spot. There's a cave, and we've got a lot of nice shelter from the winds that come down from the Sierra Nevada mountains behind us. And I'm going to be car camping in the RAV4 tonight. My husband will be joining me. He'll be camping in his Jeep. And then I'll be headed up to Lake Tahoe tomorrow morning. This is a nice spot. Quite nice.
Thanks again for stopping by Nick's Adventrex. Make sure to subscribe because the adventure continues here in the Alabama Hills next week. And from there, we make our way up to Lake Tahoe. Again, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss future videos. Like, comment, and share the video. I love reading and responding to comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next adventure.